Okay. Hopefully you're on. Welcome to the Wrestling Pod. I am your host, Carlito Santiago, and today we are here to review Monday Night Raw. Of course, 5 days before the 2025 edition of its Backlash Premium Live event, WWE rolls into the Shy Health Center in Omaha, Nebraska, for Monday Night Raw, of course. What did Becky Lynch have to say ahead of her Women's Intercontinental Championship match against Lyra Valkyria? Any final words from Gunther and Pat McAfee? And, of course, a lot of matches. And a good go-home show, from what I can tell. But before we jump right into it, of course, can you please be generous to hit that subscribe button, drop a like, comment down below, and turn on those post notifications so you'll never miss a video or live stream from us again. Anyway, Monday Night Raw kicked off, of course, with Jey Uso, and a recap of what happened weeks before, or well, last week, I should say. Jey Uso kicked off Raw and wasted little time calling out Logan Paul, only for the other Paul to come in, you know? Paul Heyman. After a passionate promo in which the wise man justified his recent actions by reminding the world of the impossible position CM Punk put him in at WrestleMania and how self-centered Roman Reigns was, he turned his attention to Uso. He said Braun Breaker was phase 1 of their plan, and phase 2 is going to be Rollins capturing the World Heavyweight Championship, which Rollins needs for the power and the control it brings. Heyman officially challenged Uso on behalf of the Visionary, and the World Champion accepted for later Monday night. Well, technically he gave Uso the choice of any time, any place. Uso chose to have it here in Omaha, Nebraska. This was an extraordinary bit of business from the best talker in the industry in Heyman. He was absolutely right in his assessment of Punk and Reigns, and the passion in which he spoke conveyed just how much he believed what he said. From there, he laid out the foreseeable future for his partnership with Rollins and Breaker, and what the next step is. Even if the challenger did not win on Monday night, the next goal for the group is winning the World Championship, which means they will make life a living nightmare for Uso until Rollins does. Creatively, this was an incredible and effective segment, which of course set up for the main event, and this was perfect. I felt this was perfect. I was able to watch it, and everything, I got goosebumps from hearing Heyman just go on and on and on, and almost bust an artery from saying that. So Heyman, kudos to Heyman. Jey Uso played his role right, too. And, of course, one word, 4 letters. Yeet. This was an A+, and I agree. This shit was so fucking good. Uso also criticized Heyman for talking to him after what he did to Reigns at WrestleMania, to which the wise man responded by reminding him that he betrayed the tribal chief long before he ever did. True. Uso did before Heyman did. True. We move on, of course, to Penta versus JD McDonough, which was a pretty fun match. Not even interference from Finn Balor, Carlito, hey. And, of course, Chad Gable could secure the win for JD McDonough, which he squared off with Penta in a 1-on-1 competition. The contest was late in Penta's rivalry with the Judgment Day, but also continued to lay the groundwork for the feud between Gable, American Made, Penta, and of course his brother Rey Fenix, who didn't show up here, but could possibly show up later on in a WWE draft or so. A quality matchup that saw Penta fend off the interferences, then delivered a Mexican Destroyer for the 1-2-3 victory. It furthered 2 different rivalries, featuring the popular luchador, while providing the show with some quality in-ring action. Balor leaving his teammates high and dry by getting caught by the referee, damn it, man, and ejected from ringside will only add to the expectation that the Irishman's days in the Judgment Day are drawing to an end. Of course, Finn Balor is getting very irritated and wants out. So they're either going to do what they did to him, or they're going to do to Finn Balor like what Io, Asuka, and Kairi did to Bayley, or Finn Balor's just going to leave on his own terms and be a good guy again. Which honestly should be the approach. Finn Balor should leave as a babyface. He should get out of that group, become a babyface, because he's been a heel for a very long time. And, yeah. This was a B- and I agree. Heyman also revealed that he did sucker Uso into agreeing to a title match here Monday night before explaining to Breakker the genius of what is about to go down. It's about to happen. Shit is going to get real. Cole and McAfee put over McDonough's toughness through his lung injury that he suffered in late 2024. Of course, nicknaming him the Iron Lung. The Iron Lung Challenge coming to you by the end of this year. Sheamus made his return. Tensions between Theory and Grayson Waller have really reached a fever pitch on Monday night because Grayson Waller, originally supposed to face Sheamus, said, you know what, I'm not really wanting to do that, so... Oh, hey, I got a guy for you. Hey, buddy, Austin Theory. Nice to meet you, man. Hey, would you do me a favor? I don't want to be, listen, I don't want to be selfish, so I'm going to put you in a singles match. Great. Great. Who's my opponent? Yeah, about that. We're going to save that as a surprise. Okay? Just go out there. We're going to go out there. Adam Pearce, is that okay? The fact that Adam Pearce told Waller who his opponent was before just making it a whole surprise. Like, surprise! I don't know. It kind of felt kind of weird to me. It felt a little bit weird to do it that way. Anyway, I felt it was great that Sheamus made a return. It was great. It was needed. Sheamus needed to fucking be on the show, man. Sheamus needed to be back. A seething Theory proceeded to take a brutal beating at the hands of the Celtic Warrior, who utilized his physical style and punishing arsenal to drive the air out of his opponents and ultimately win the match with a brogue kick. It's clear Theory and Waller are headed for Splitsville, USA. Of course, take a right, take another left, take a left, right, and then a center. Keep on going straight until you hit 95, and boom, Splitsville, USA. We're going down 2 different roads. But the question is whether fans are ready to accept the former as a babyface. Now, check this out. It all depends on the reaction. It all depends on the reaction. Of course, this is also graded a C+, which I agree with. But again, the Theory-Waller split up. It has 2 effects, and it comes from the crowd. You can have Theory, well, both are almost the same. You have Theory beat up Waller, and the fans could react in a positive way, right? They'll react to a bunch of cheers, because this means that this would be the ultimate babyface change for Theory. Waller can still be the asshole that he is, and Theory can just break from it. Now, the other option is that there's boos. Theory is reigned with boos after attacking Waller, which of course is also understandable because Theory is justified. The best kind of heels are the ones that are justified. And the reason those are the best heels is because they have a reason for it. They're so justified in their way. For what they are doing is right. Just like how Rollins is doing what he believes is right. And he's justified from it. He doesn't want to see fucking people at the head of. But Rollins is kind of fallen into that habit of doing the same shit. I don't know. Again, it depends on the reaction to how you get. Honestly, I think Theory should be the babyface and Waller should be the heel. So, Waller should probably just drop Theory and Theory be the babyface in this and try to ultimately make the comeback. Instead of having Theory be the heel who's justified, then Waller be the fake-ass babyface. Do the complete opposite of what Waller had said in real life, that he's not a fake good guy. He can't play that fake good guy part, because in real life, that's not who he is. You know? He's a brutally honest asshole like myself. Karrion Kross joined Kathy Kelly for a promo where his growing connection with the audience was on full display, and his devil you know versus the devils you don't line was prominently used at the end. And he's calling his fans bad guys, something that is going to continue to get him over with the WWE Universe. I don't know. I think Karrion Kross is doing great work. If you haven't checked out his fucking little documentary on... Can you come up here? Sure. Give me a second, guys. to my heart. Tell me I'm the only one. Oh, fuck. All right, just back from a commercial break, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry about that. Let's move on to the next bit. I apologize for the interruption, but hey, we're live, so it doesn't matter. Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch came face to face ahead of their Women's Intercontinental Championship match at Backlash on Saturday. Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria came face to face in the center of the ring, and there were fireworks. Of course, Katy Perry wasn't there because she decided to go on the moon. Bitch wondered why nobody else. Why don't you go to the moon? Bitch, I got bills to pay. Lynch lashed out at her fans for booing her, and then took credit for all of Valkyria's success over the last year. This drew out the champion, who called the man the Queen of Recycling, and reminded her that it was Valkyria who made history as the first Women's Intercontinental Champion. Oh yeah, that's right, I did that. You were this, you were this, you were this, but you weren't the first at this, and you'll only be second best. The title holder and her former mentor came to blows, ending with the Valkyrie delivering the Nightwing before standing tall. Momentum on her side ahead of her title clash. And of course, this was great. This was a fun segment that proved Valkyria could hang with Lynch on the mic, even if the fans are still getting acclimated to her in that role. Which is also true because, of course, the brawl was fine and the babyface stood tall but guarantees Lynch will win the gold at St. Louis. This match may well be a show stealer on Saturday's card. B+. Yeah, like Valkyria did a great job here on the promo. Very good promo here by Valkyria. She's standing up like for herself here. Becky Lynch is obviously getting the shtick. This almost feels like, I'm trying to find the right words for it. This almost in turn feels like John Cena and Roman Reigns promo back at SummerSlam. And I mean like the SummerSlam when Roman had Heyman. Not the No Mercy one where fucking Roman, it's called a promo, or shut up, John, right? Where Roman couldn't handle the promo. Here, Lyra Valkyria can now handle herself, and Becky standing there is like, if you need any tips, like, I'm here. I'm going to be across the ring from you. I know. And honestly, to me, personally, I don't care who wins this match. They're both going to do great work. Following to it, it's one of the hardest predictions I'm having to make because I'm still in between with having to pick. I've already kind of got my prediction made for this match, but I don't know because I can see it both ways, and I'm okay with either or. I'm honestly okay with either or. I think, honestly, with the amount of, I'm going to say my predictions for this Thursday, ladies and gentlemen, but with the amount of energy that I'm getting from this, I feel that, like, Becky could actually probably win. But you'll find out my prediction on Thursday, so hang in there. This is great at B+, and I agree. I mean, great work from both women, or woman and man. Becky Lynch is fucking amazing. But, yeah, I do agree. This may actually be a show stealer. A stow stealer. Roxanne Perez and Io Sky went one-on-one with each other. Of course, Roxanne Perez continued to show the wrestling world why she has earned the moniker The Prodigy, while also getting The Prodigy named the Let's Ruin This Fucking Match. Sort of. Because this time, instead of facing Rhea Ripley, she took on Io Sky, the Women's World Champion. Their match was a smartly wrestled one that saw Perez target the left leg of the champion, obviously taking out the legs of the Genius of the Sky, seeking to take the base away from the high flyer babyface. Sky was able to recover though and caught Perez with a roll up for the 1-2-3, and this was a sequence of where they went for 2 counts, where first they went for roll up 1, kick out, then they roll up 1-2, kick out, roll up 1-2, and they started to go back and forth until Io was able to get it. After the bell, though, Perez got of course, engaged a little show of respect with the Genius of the Sky, only for Julia to attack the champion. Of course, Perez was only going to stay like that for a little bit until Julia showed up, where we can get a clear, like, let's put these women on the main roster. So, Perez and, of course, Julia attacked Io, and it ended with the heel standing tall. This was another showcase for Perez, who continued to prove her excellence is not reserved for NXT. She has squared off with the standard bearers in WWE, battling Bayley, Rhea Ripley, and now Sky, and never looked out of place. She is the star of WWE's future, and for the sake of the women's division, a star of the present. And I fucking agree. Get this woman on a fucking another PLE, please. She's probably going to be there on Saturday Night Main Event. Who knows? But I know she might be there at Battlegrounds. Anyway, great at B+, and again, Perez is just an amazing fucking wrestler. Look at her. Just look at her. Look at that. Look at her. You cannot tell me that that's greatness right there. I feel like she's the type of girl to be like, period. Right at the end of every sentence, dude. After a bold statement like that, you're the best wrestler. That's right. I am. Period. I can't. Rusev took on Otis. 2 one-namers. It's Alexander Rusev. Anyway, Otis and Rusev had a match. Rusev wrestled his first match in WWE since February of 2020, when he battled Alpha Academy's Otis on Monday night. The contest was an extended squash that saw the Redeemer redeem himself by physically dominating his opponent. Late, Otis mustered something resembling a comeback, but the Bulgarian Brute downed him and forced a submission with the Accolade. Afterwards, of course, Akira Tozawa and Maxine Dupri were tending to their fallen friend. Akira Tozawa stood up for his friend, only to be beaten down. Rusev further punished Otis with another Accolade that he held onto until Raw General Manager Adam Pearce appeared and, of course, admonished him. Hopefully I'm saying that word right. This was a perfectly fine reintroduction to the destructive force that is Rusev. But there is an argument that was a bit longer than it should have been. Still, he looked great here and is clearly amid a significant push. Where that takes him is anyone's guess, but it looks like he will have the opportunity to establish himself as a threat, of course. And grade a B-, and I mean, I got nothing for Rusev. I've seen Rusev wrestle before. Before Rusev was not a big thing. Him in AEW, honestly, again, not a big thing because I really didn't care about him. Rusev now, he's going to put himself on notice, right? Especially also with the God's Champion, you know? I loved Rusev's idea of going to Miro and being God's greatest gift, which I thought was hilarious. And if everybody loved Rusev Day, I fucking didn't. He looked like a mole rat at one point. So, I don't know. I think a lot of people will love him. Gunther and Pat McAfee came face-to-face before their clash at Backlash. On Saturday in St. Louis, Pat McAfee and Gunther came face-to-face after Adam Pearce decided to lift the suspension just for today. McAfee said he, like Gunther, grew up a fan who dreamed of being a pro wrestler, while the ring general became jaded and allowed his dreams to become a job. He questioned the former World Heavyweight Champion's focus and claimed he has gone soft. Gunther responded by vowing to choke out McAfee and said the former NFL punter has his undivided attention. This was a great promo segment that saw McAfee make the mistake of awakening the fire in Gunther, angering him to the point of ominous promises of an entirely focused attack at Backlash. I don't even want to read this, but that should be a terrifying prospect for McAfee, who's bravo and testicular fortitude. Hey, Mick Foley is unlikely to be enough to compete with the raw fury of the ring general. McAfee also meant, Walter Ring, of course, mentioned his real name. there. I thought this was really good. And yes, this is a graded an A. I seen the whole clip, and yeah, I think Gunther has gone fucking soft. As much as I do love Pat McAfee, though, Gunther's got something he's got to... Gunther has to, like, let out that anger that's been in, you know? We can't hold our feelings in. We can't let our feelings be bottled up inside, okay? Just remember that. This is some, like, real shit I'm talking about here. Don't let your feelings, get the best of you. Let them out. Saturday, only by the grace of God will I lift my arm off your throat, Gunther said to close out the segment. But we get to one of the spectacular main events we've ever seen, and it should be an A+++++++++. But before I get there, let's break it down. Our main event, Jey Uso defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Seth fucking Rollins. The visionary, the revolutionary, Mr. Monday Night Rollins. Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Paul Heyman thought they had played out their plans. They played their cards right. They thought they were going to succeed in their phase 2 of their initiation. Well, guess what? They didn't. Because Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Paul Heyman did not think this through. For a moment or two, it looked like that may be the case, as the challenger had Jey where he wanted him late in the main event. Championship grit combined with the well-timed appearance of Sami Zayn prevented a Rollins win, while Breaker speared Zayn and left Uso with stomped into the mat. A chair-wielding CM Punk saved the WWE Universe from Raw's lead villain from winning the world title. The best in the world did not technically draw a disqualification and ended in no contest. The referee got the fuck out of there. He was like, fuck this shit. Everything's already in mayhem. So, Rollins, yes, we could say by disqualification, Rollins did win, but at the same time, this was a no contest in my eyes. Rollins and Punk beat the hell out of each other, and the closing minutes of Raw saw Punk, Uso, and Zayn up as the main heroes in Rollins' villain arc, setting them oppose the new alliance in a feud that should carry the red brand through the summer until Roman Reigns seeks his revenge. That bodes well with the flagship show, which can spin off any number of matches from the collection of talent with or without world title gold at stake. Add in the dark cloud that Logan Paul and his pursuit of Jey Uso's title, which of course a clock in the face happened, of course, when Raw went off the air. And you have enough to keep the fans invested at the top of the card for the foreseeable future and hopefully provide them red-hot finishes like this one. Well, they used a DQ here. They didn't want Uso to really score the win over Rollins, and they didn't want Rollins to score the big victory over Uso, so they needed to do something here. But yes, this was a certified banger. So give me that A+++++, and one word, 4 letters, yeet. Seth's work rate is something that is tough to keep up with, McAfee said, as if he was a member of the internet wrestling community typing furiously into the X app. Fuck you, IWC. Anyway, that was it for Raw. But what was the final grade of it? The Backlash card may look more like a mid-90s in your house offering, with a main event pinning 2 of the best of all time against each other. But it did a great job hyping what Raw had to offer for Saturday. Now we know about Valkyria and Lynch. They had a fantastic back and forth. So did McAfee and Gunther. So bravo, gentlemen. Bravo, ladies. From the in-ring perspective, Sky and Perez tore the house down. Sheamus, in theory, was pretty good. And then Uso and Rollins put the cherry on top of this hot bud Sunday of course, a Monday Night Raw in Omaha. Not all of the creative is hitting, but there is enough for what Triple H has traditionally done well, and a long-term vision at the top of the card. Mind you, keyword there, okay? Keyword there. Long-term vision. If you're not a part of that vision, you're gone. Bye-bye. That there is a reason to be optimistic that WWE is trending upwards following justifiable complaints about the build to WrestleMania. It will be interesting to see how Backlash affects any of that. For now, though, 2 thumbs up for strong Monday Night Raw effort. The grade is a B+, and at least an A-. At least an A-. Come on. At least an A-. We're changing the grade here. At least an A-. And that was Monday Night Raw. Pretty good. I've got really nothing to say until the predictions, and this was a great go-home show. This was actually so much of a better go-home show. You couldn't ask for something better. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to see you guys again on Thursday. I'm going to be predicting the Backlash card with only 5 matches because SmackDown cannot really do anything. And then if I have to, you guys are going to see a comment on, you can go check out my X. You can go on X or Twitter and go check out who I predicted for. If a match, let's say a match does happen on SmackDown, just so happens to be added on SmackDown. Okay. You'll find my prediction out on Twitter. I don't want to make a video for it. But you'll catch me on Thursday. You'll catch me also on Saturday for the SmackDown summary. I might do that one a little early than usual. Maybe at 11. Maybe 11 o'clock. I'll have to change it. And then you'll catch the Backlash review on Sunday, Mother's Day. So, I'll see you guys Thursday and Saturday.